All right, so today we're going to be talking about brownies. The recipe that I'm going to be doing for you today that's in the packet is a brownie recipe that I've been making since I was in culinary school. And it's one of those that I do for a lot of demos in the community as well. It's a one-pot brownie. I'm going to be using a bowl as well today so you can kind of see the mixing process, but you can actually mix everything in the pot and you'll see what I'm talking about. So we're going to start here with a warm pot. I've got my butter. I'm going to go ahead and put that in and get that started to melt. It should melt pretty quickly. And I've also got some brown sugar. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. And then, oddly enough, 3 tablespoons of water. So we'll pour that in as well. So as you are melting this all down, and that's really what we're going for, we want to get that all melted, nice, smooth, and warm enough to melt all of our chocolate chips. Now this is a semi-sweet chocolate chip. I'm going to actually put this into the bowl. Today we're going to use the bowl so that way you can kind of see the progression and how everything moves. And like I said, once this gets good and melted, while we're melting that, we use our time effectively here. We're going to talk about the pan. So the final recipe you'll actually be able to put into probably a 9x9 pan at home. But here in the kitchen, we don't have 9x9 pans. So we're going to use a 1/4 sheet pan. I'm going to put a little bit of spray down. I'm going to put the paper down. And then I'm going to spray that again. Now we refer to this in the industry as spray paper spray for obvious reasons. But having that extra spray level on both sides allows for the brownie to come off that pan much easier. All right, so we're almost at a boil, which is kind of what I want to do. Once that gets there, I'm going to transfer my whisk into my bowl. Get that good and bubbly. Perfect. And then we're going to pour this right over our chocolate. Now we're going to whisk that together. And by whisking this together, what this does, you can see that chocolate melted very quickly. I have used up to a 60% chocolate, bittersweet chocolate, to make this brownie, and it does work. It performs very well. And there we go. So now, the next step, we're going to go ahead and incorporate our eggs one at a time. Now, obviously, when we talk about the tempering process itself is tempering in something cold into something warm. And obviously that chocolate dropped the temperature of our boiling sugar and butter mixture quite significantly. So I don't have to panic too much about that. But if you decide to do it in the one pot, you're gonna definitely wanna be really, really careful because that pot's gonna hold a lot of heat for a long time. All right. So we have a nice emulsion with all the chocolate. Our vanilla was in with the eggs as well. And then I'm going to take my dry ingredients. This is the salt, the baking soda, and the flour. And we'll go ahead and incorporate that in. And this, you have some options with this brownie. It can be a cakey brownie that you want to use. It's like maybe like a kind of a cake layer, a little bit denser than your normal cake. But you can also make it a fudgy brownie by just the amount of time that you bake. So as we talk today about, seeing what it looks like when it comes out of the oven, we'll be talking about how long you can bake it for certain doneness, and you'll determine in the long run how you'll do it, because I use this for Death by Brownie. You have lots of options. You can do a lot of different recipes and component desserts by using brownie, which is very popular. I mean, it's one of those basics that everybody loves. So we're going to then take our pan and our bowl, and we're just going to scoop that in. Make sure you get all of that brownie batter out of the bowl. Scrape it out really good. My students always refer to this as Cadillacing the bowl, making sure you get everything out of there. All right, and then you can just run the pan back and forth a little bit. And we're going to pop this in the oven at about 325 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes to start. So, with the brownies coming out of the oven now, we've got a couple of things to look at here. This is going to be a nice texture of brownie. I don't have anything sticking to the stick itself. This was about 14 minutes in the oven. I've allowed this to cool all the way down, and I now have a dough knife and our pan. The easiest way to do this, because a lot of people will take the knife and start going around the edge. That ruins your knife, so don't do that. Take the dough knife, chilled brownie, go around. Remember, we sprayed and we papered and we sprayed. So this brownie should just pop right out when we do this. Tap, boom. Nice, easy one shot. So we remove our paper. And then we can take our sharp knife. Now once again, this is nice and cool. I can go ahead and cut this into portions. Okay. You'll notice that because it's a little fudgy, you're going to want to take and wipe that knife off between each cut, and that'll keep your portions nice and clean. You guys know my quiz questions. This will keep your portions nice and clean. So cold, sharp knife, wipe down between each one. Okay, this will be for another application for petit fours, but I can take this and dust it with powdered sugar, or I can glaze it with ganache, or I can put pyramids of chocolate mousse on and go ahead and use those as well for our Death by Brownies. So you've got some different options for the application of that brownie. You can see that nice little edge right there, little cakey through the top, nice and fudgy and gooey right in the middle. Tears apart. That's what we're looking for. So I hope you enjoyed the brownie demo. Get baking.